Okay, welcome. So I'm here to teach you a 30-minute taster of a flow class. I'm Ganda, my name is Ganda, and I will be waiting for about 2 or 3 minutes before we actually begin. So I see some of you are coming on, so thank you for your waves. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I hope you will all stay for the class. So today we'll do a 30-minute flow, and ideally if you have them, it would be fantastic if you could have 2 blocks. I'm sitting on mine, I'm just gonna show you. So 2 blocks like this, like yoga blocks, or if you don't have them, maybe grab a couple of big jars. If you have a couple of big jars or boxes, something that is about the same size, that would be really useful for some of the poses that we work with today in the flow. Also, just so you know, before we begin, there will be quite a few twists involved in today's practice. So if you can't twist for any reason, or if you are pregnant, this might not be the best practice for you, but otherwise twists are great. They're going to build a little bit of fire, some strength in our center. So it's going to be a short practice, but a fun one. If you have any questions before we begin, feel free to send me a message here in the comment box and I'll reply to you. I'm just going to give it maybe another minute or so. Also, for those of you who are coming here now and can't stay because maybe you don't have the time to actually watch the full class now or practice now, you know that this is also going to be available for replay later. I will save it as an IGTV and it will stay on this account for you to come back and practice later on. Okay, almost time to start. So if you are here to practice, find some space for you to do your half-an-hour practice, ideally somewhere where you're quiet and undisturbed for the next 30 minutes. Unroll your mat, grab your 2 blocks or a couple of big boxes or jars, something that you can use instead of blocks if you don't have them. And yes, Ellie, good to know that you are doing this later. Thank you for sending the message as well. All right, so it's 12:30. I'm going to start right now so that we start on time. If you are doing this live, you know that this ends in half an hour. So if you just have a short lunch break, let's get straight on our session. So we will begin lying down on the back. So you can set the blocks down onto the side and just start my timer so that I know where we are. And then once you lie down on your back, just take a moment to relax the arms alongside the body, relax the legs, and let the face soften. Begin by inviting a nice and long inhale in through the nostrils. And a complete exhale out of the mouth. And do this one more time. Nice and long inhale. Out of the mouth and exhale. Close the mouth. Begin to breathe in and out of the nostrils. And let your breath just flow easily. It comes and goes. You don't need to control anything about it. You just allow it to happen. And notice how it feels to have taken half an hour out of your day to do this practice. To be with your breath, to be with your body. So just one last inhale and exhale on our back. At the end of the exhale, let the eyes open if they were closed and hug the knees into the chest. Give your knees a little squeeze and rock side to side. And then slide the hands behind the knees and rock yourself up into a seated position. Once you're all the way up seated, you're going to sit with your legs crossed. So sit with a tall spine, find a sense of reaching up through the top of the skull towards the ceiling, relaxing the shoulders down and grounding down through the sit bones. And then breathe in, reach the arms up towards the ceiling, turn your palms to face forwards, and now imagine that you're holding onto a resistance band that is hanging from the ceiling. I want you to imagine that you're holding onto it and making fists, And imagine you're pulling that resistance band down. So as you bend your elbows, there's a lot of action going on into your shoulders, upper back, arms. Keep engaging through your arms and upper back. Draw the belly button in a little bit. And then inhale. And exhale, twist to your right. Rotate until your body stops. And when your body stops, just hold it there. Maintain the twist as best you can. Maintain that sense of pulling down that imaginary resistance band with your hands. Take another breath in into this active twist. And as you breathe out, just soften at the center. Relax the arms, relax the shoulders. Uncross the shins, recross them so the other shin is in front. Breathe in, reach the arms to the ceiling. Turn the palms to face forwards. Inhale here. Make fists, exhale, imaginary pull down. Take a breath in, draw the belly in. Exhale, twist to the other side. Now as you twist, ground your sit bones and lift the top of the skull. And make sure that your head is not sticking forwards, but you're gently tucking your chin slightly in towards your throat. Take another breath here into this active twist. And then as you exhale, untwist and release. Relax the shoulders, give them a couple of rolls, and shift yourself forwards on your hands and on your knees. Now, as you arrive on hands and knees, we need to open your hands nice and wide, spreading the fingers. Have your knees directly underneath your hips, and then breathe in, arch the spine into cow pose, opening up the chest, look up. And breathing out, round the spine into cat pose, push the floor away, chin to chest. Again, breathing in, we arch the spine, we find a little bit of a back bend, opening the front body. Exhaling, we round and we engage the front body, the navel to the spine. One more like this, breathing in, cow pose. Breathing out, cat pose. Now resetting to a neutral position. And from here, straighten your right leg, just your right leg back behind you. Keep your right toes on the floor and take the left hand to your abdomen. Now draw the abdomen in and up and lengthen your spine. With the hand that's on the floor, continue to push the floor away. And then reach your left arm forwards and float your right foot off the ground. As you hold it there, find your stability, find your balance. Have your eyes ideally on one point that's not moving. So maybe it's the top edge of your mat. Maybe it's a point on the floor. Just keep the neck nice and long, find that stability there. Take one more inhale as you are. As you exhale, release your left hand to the ground. Release your right toes to the ground. Now turn onto the sole of your right foot. Spin your left foot a little bit behind you and lift the right arm up to the ceiling. So you're into a modified version of side plank. I want you to push the floor away with the bottom hand, lift with the top hand to the ceiling, and then also now float your right leg off the ground. So I don't know if you can see it, this is my foot. So my right leg is floating off the ground, it's parallel to the ground, and I'm putting energy into the lifted foot. So that foot, maybe it's pointing, maybe it's flexing, but it is doing something. This is preparation work for what we're going to do standing later in today's session. So take an inhale here. As you exhale now, bring your right hand to the ground, square your pelvis back to the floor, and keep that right leg lifting. Now, I want you to draw your belly in, engage your right side glutes and hamstrings, back of your right thigh lifts to the ceiling, and then lift your left hand, place it to your belly. Now, from here, we'll start to add some twisting. So take that left hand to your hip, lengthen your spine, and rotate your chest over to your left. It's a lot harder than it looks. So keep rotating your ribcage out to your left and continue doing your best to lift. Right hamstrings, right glutes engage. And then either you stay here or now you stretch your left arm up to the ceiling, maybe looking up. Hold it here. Take another breath in. As you exhale, reset to the ground. Hand down, knee down. Beautiful. Inhale, arch your spine. Look up, open the chest. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, tailbone tucks. And then come back into neutral. We work on the second side. Straighten your left leg back behind you. Right hand to your belly. Draw the belly in. And reach your right arm forwards. Now float your left foot. Your left foot doesn't go very high. We want that foot to be maximum at the height of your hip. So it doesn't go very high. That way we keep the control and the stability in our center. Lower belly pulled in, lower back in a neutral position. Now hold it there, take one more inhale. Exhale, release your right hand down, your left toes down. Turn onto the sole of your left foot. Spin the right foot behind you, left arm to the ceiling. Push the ground away with the bottom hand, reach to the ceiling with the top hand, and then float that left leg off the ground. Holding it here, energize your left foot. Give the toes something to do. The more you activate that top foot, that top leg, the easier it is to balance. Take one more breath here. Exhale, release your left hand down, square your hips to the ground. Now, just like we did on the other side, we have the twist. Make sure your hamstrings continue to lift, your glutes continue to lift, right hand to the belly. Now, right hand to the right hip, start to rotate your chest over to the right, and then don't lose your hamstrings, keep lifting them. Start to maybe reach your right hand up to the ceiling as you continue to lift your hamstrings. Inhale here. Exhale here. You can do it. Take one more breath here. Exhale, release the right hand down, the left knee down. Breathe in, arch your spine, look up, open the chest. This time, breathe out, downward facing dog. As you're riding your downward dog, give yourself a little bit of time to explore. Maybe pedaling on the spot. Maybe moving in any other way that your body is asking you to move. We're preparing for our flow, and some of the elements that we looked at on our hands and knees are going to come back into our flow. So we're putting things together gradually, and hopefully it will all make sense. Now, from your downward dog, if you're still pedaling, settle into stillness. Shift forward as you breathe in for plank position. And then have your feet at least hip distance apart. So tuck your chin in, have a look at your feet. Have them at least hip distance apart. And then lengthen the back of your neck, look towards the front edge of your mat. Drop both heels to your left, so one foot is in front of the other. Lift your right arm up to the ceiling and squeeze your inner thighs together. I want you to imagine you have a peanut between your inner thighs and you want to hold it there. Don't lose it, squeeze it. Release your right hand back down, come back into plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, both heels to the right. Left arm up to the ceiling, squeeze that peanut. You still have it between your inner thighs, give it a squeeze. One more breath. Back into your plank, inhale. Lift the hips, down dog, exhale. Stay. Nice and long inhale for down dog. Complete exhale. Now lift your right leg up for a 3-leg down dog. Gaze between the hands and step your right foot super lightly between the hands. Drop the left knee to the ground. Inhale the arms overhead. Now turn your palms to face forwards. We did this seated, it's the same kind of work. Make fists, imagine you're holding onto a resistance band. Draw the belly in, and then imagine you're pulling down that resistance band as you bend your elbows. Maintain that strength around your shoulders and upper back as you now twist to your right. So you're twisting towards the front knee. As you twist, it's an active twist, which is going to activate the muscles that rotate your spine. In yoga, we often twist using our hands to press against the leg, for example. And that doesn't really switch on our muscles that rotate our torso. But as we twist actively, we have so much more of a chance to actually use our muscles and build strength. Take one more breath into your active twist. Exhale, untwist, release the hands down. Step it back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale, down dog. Exhale completely. Breathe in, lift the left leg up. Step the left foot between the hands, right knee to the ground. Inhale, upper body lifts, draw the belly in. Turn the palms to face forward, make fists. Imagine you're pulling down that resistance band. Keep the belly active, the shoulders engaged. Twist to your left. As you twist here, keep the head well aligned on top of the pelvis. The front knee well aligned in line with your front foot. Especially want to watch that front knee from collapsing in. We don't want that. So keep it, imagine it, actually that it's pressing out. And as you imagine that, it's probably going to stay in a good line. Untwist, release the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. One inhale, down dog. One exhale, down dog. Inhale, forwards for plank. Have your feet at least hip distance apart. Exhale, both heels to the left. Lift your right arm up, side plank. Imagine you want to make peanut butter. With that peanut, you're squeezing it with your inner thighs. Come back into plank. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the other side. Squeeze the imaginary peanut between your thighs and lift the top hand to the ceiling. Come back into plank. Inhale. This time, lower the knees, half chaturanga. Hips and chest lower at the same time. Breathe in into your cobra, open the chest, roll the shoulders down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold it there. Breathe in nice and long. Breathe out completely. This time, inhale your right leg up, 3-leg down dog. Step the right foot forwards between the hands and keep the back knee lifted. Now, keep your left hand down, but reach your right arm up into a twist. And then make space. Take that right foot a little wider out to the right. And keep pushing the floor away with the bottom hand, reaching to the ceiling with the top hand. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, bring your right hand down inside of your right foot. Turning around your left heel, so it's as if you were going into warrior 2. And now lift your left arm up and twist the other way. Inhale here. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Take a breath in for down dog. Complete breath out. Inhale, left leg to sky. Exhale, left foot forwards, keep the back knee lifted. Good. Ground your right hand, lift your left arm up. Wiggle the left foot a little wider out to the left. And then as we prepare to switch, left hand to the ground. Right heel comes to the ground, right arm up and twist in the other side. Take a full inhale. Exhale, step back, this time into plank. Hold your plank, inhale. Hold it there, exhale. Preparing for your side plank, both heels to the left, right arm up. Just one inhale. Back into plank, exhale. Stay, nice and stable, inhale. Second side, exhale. Breathe in, plank. Breathe out, plank, both hands down. Exhale, either knees down or chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog, engage your legs and glutes. Exhale, downward dog. Steady the breathing, steady the gaze. You can let your eyes rest between the feet. The breath begin to slow down a little bit. So next in our sequence, we start to work more on standing balances. So as you breathe in, lift your right leg up, 3-leg down dog. Step your right foot forwards and come up into a high lunge. So back knee lifts, arms overhead. Now from your high lunge, we're going to look at one thing in front of us, ideally something that's not moving. Bring the hands in prayer. And as you step forwards, bring your left knee into your chest. Lift the knee nice and high. And we need to squeeze your standing leg glutes. Thigh muscles, glute muscles switch on. Hold it there. Use your left hand on the knee. Use your right hand on the knee as well. And then lift your left arm up. Take a breath. And exhale, twist to the left. So you're turning your chest to the left and you're moving your left hand behind you. If you want to challenge your balance more, look at your left thumb. Hold your balance, keep reaching up towards the ceiling with the head. Take a breath as you are. And then exhale, come back to center, hold on to the knee. Super lightly, bend the standing legs, step back into a high lunge, arms overhead. Good. This time from here, grab your 2 blocks or whatever else you're using instead of blocks and place the blocks here at the front of your mat. I like the blocks on a toe level for the work that we're doing. Now, lift the arms back up. So we come back to the work we just did, but we add a little bit onto it. Now, shift forwards, 1 leg Tadasana, left knee into chest. It's the right hand that holds onto the knee and the left arm that goes behind you to twist. Now, you can either stay here or also straighten that left leg and kick the leg forwards. You can hold onto the leg to support it or not. Now, rebend the knee if you straightened it. And then release both hands to the blocks. Send the left leg behind you. So if you're familiar with Warrior 3, this is basically Warrior 3 but hands on blocks. And then from here, the blocks are underneath the shoulders. We're going to come back to the work we did when we started the practice, when we were on hands and knees. So lift your left arm up and open your hips to the side. Lift your left hand to the ceiling, lift your left foot to the ceiling. So you're into half moon pose. We did this earlier on hands and knees. I said it was a modified version of side plank. And now on hand and foot, we're actually in half moon. Take another breath as you are. And then reset, both hands on blocks, square your pelvis to the ground. Now remember, when we were on hands and knees, we also twisted. So we're going to do the same here. Take your right hand to the belly, lengthen the spine. Take your right hand to the right hip. Continue lifting your left hamstrings to the ceiling. Take a breath in, rotate your chest out to the right. And then maybe stay, maybe reach your right arm up, revolved half moon. Hamstrings should be on fire. Engage your left glutes, engage your left hamstrings. Back of the thigh pulls to the ceiling. Good, and then release both hands down on blocks. Lightly step back into a high lunge. You can leave the blocks there. Arms up, inhale. Plank pose, exhale. Stay for plank, inhale. Both heels to the left, side plank, right arm up. Just one inhale. Plank, both hands down. Inhale. Second side, both heels to the right, left arm up. Take a breath in. Both hands down, plank pose. Your choice of vinyasa, knees down for a modified version. Whatever allows you to control the way down. You don't want to flop down. But this time, sit on your heels for child's pose and give yourself a few breaths. Allow the breathing to slow down and lengthen. See if you can feel the heart beating in the chest. And as the breath slows down, the heart rate slows down too. We're moving on the second side and we'll do exactly the same sequence on the other side. So enjoy this last moment here in child's pose. On your next exhalation, come back into downward facing dog. Once you're back in down dog, stay. Push the floor away with both hands and all 10 fingers. Inhale the left leg to the sky. Step the left foot forwards between the hands. First, just high lunge. As you come up into high lunge, find one thing in front of you that you're looking at. Keep your eyes on that point. Hands in prayer. Keeping the focus of the eyes is going to really help your balance. Shift forwards, right knee into chest. Standing as tall as you can, make sure you squeeze and wrap in your left hip. Now, hold on to the knee with the opposite hand. Reach your right arm up and take your right hand behind you, turning your chest out to the right. Maybe challenging yourself by gazing back at the right thumb. Otherwise, if you were to gaze to the side or even stay with your gaze forwards, that would feel more stable. Now, we're going to release this, both hands to the front knee, and then step back into your high lunge. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Now, you know we're coming back into it. We're coming back to it, and then we work onto our sequence with half moon and revolved half moon. Ready for it. Take a breath. Come forward, standing, right knee into chest. Now, lift your right arm up. Take your right hand behind you. Maybe stay, maybe also straighten that right leg forwards. If you do, just squeeze your hips in and keep growing tall through the spine. You can hold on to the leg or not. Now, come back to center, hug your knee in. Good. From here, both hands to blocks. Warrior 3 with the hands on blocks. Just for a moment is just a transition. Lengthen the spine, draw the belly in. And then open your hips to the right as you now lift your right arm to the ceiling, your right foot to the ceiling. You're in half moon pose. Hold it there and breathe. Give that top foot something to do. It can be pointing, can be flexing, you decide, but do something with it. Preparing for the revolve version. Both hands down, square your hips. Keep lifting that right hamstring, back of the right thigh to the ceiling. Draw the belly in, left hand to left hip. Now elongate the torso and then turn your chest out to the left. You can stay here or also reach your left hand to the ceiling. Hold it, breathe. Remember that top leg is lifting. It's full of power. One more breath. Both hands to the blocks. Step it back, high lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, hands down, step it into your plank. We're almost done with this sequence, you must be happy. Both heels to the left, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, both hands down, plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, side plank, second side. This is your last one. Both hands down, breathe in, plank. Breathe out, lower to the ground, and this time stay on the ground. Move the blocks away. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest the head. You can rock the hips side to side, relaxing your lower back. Giving your body a moment to just catch the breath, slow everything down. Good, we're now working a little bit more into the back body. So keep the hands one on top of the other, the elbows out to the sides, but take your right hand on top of your left. And then keeping the head heavy on the right hand, we're going to lift that right arm off the ground, pressing into the ground with the other arm and the other hand. And then what I want you to do is also lift your left leg. So it's opposite arm to opposite leg. As you lift your left leg, keep the front of your pelvis on the ground and lift the leg using the power in your back body. Take another breath as you are. Exhale, release to the ground. We'll do this one last time on this side. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift right arm, left leg. Your right elbow is off the ground. Your head is resting on the hand. One more breath. And then release to the ground. Switch sides. Left hand on top of the right. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift your left arm, your right leg. Hold. Push the ground away with your right hand. And then release everything back down. Just one more on this side. Inhale. Exhale, lifting left arm, right leg. Super good to strengthen your body, especially if you've been sitting for long periods of time. This puts strength in your back body, which tends to weaken as we sit for too long. And then release to the ground. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, lifting to a cobra. And exhale, sit in child's pose. Now stretch your back. From your child's pose, lift head and chest up and shift your legs forwards. Okay, so from this position, we're going to open the legs out nice and wide. So open the legs as wide as they will go for you. Press your fingertips into the ground, literally just behind you. Don't go far. Press the fingertips into the floor and lift your chest. Good. You can either stay here if you already feel that this is stretching your inner thighs, or if you want to go a little more into the stretch, fingertips forwards, and you start to walk the hands forwards. Okay, hold it here. Tuck your chin slightly into the chest and hold the position. Breathing in through the nostrils. Breathing out of the nostrils. 2 more inhales and exhales. Plenty of the movements we did today were about engaging your inner thighs, so now we just want to give them a little moment here to stretch. We always need that good balance between strength and flexibility for our bodies to function well, for our bodies to be functional in our daily movements, and also to stay free from injuries. Now lift yourself back, upright, bend your right knee, bring the sole of the right foot into the opposite inner thigh. Right arm up to the ceiling, inhale, right hand to the floor behind you. Push the floor away, lift your pelvis, reach up with your chest towards the ceiling. One more breath here into your back bend, and exhale, bring it back to the ground. Lovely. Before we work on the other side, bend both knees. Bring the soles of the feet on the ground. And then from here, lift the shins, boat pose. Take a breath into boat. Nice and long exhale. See if you can have your feet at the height of your knees. If you want a little more, you can straighten the legs, point the toes. Holding here, heart forwards to the shins, shins back to the heart. One more breath. Good, rebend the knees. Lovely, straighten your right leg, left foot into the opposite inner thigh. Preparing for a back bend. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand behind you, press the floor away, lift the body up into your back bend. Open the heart to the ceiling, one more breath. Exhale, bring it down, release. Bend your right knee, bring both feet to the ground. Now we're coming to the floor, but the way we come to the floor is through boat pose and low boat pose that then takes us to the ground. So start with your shins parallel to the floor, knees bent. Reach your arms forwards, take a breath in. As you breathe out, now lower back to the ground, straighten the legs and hover into a low boat. So just your lower back is on the ground, legs together, feet pointing forwards, and then nice and gently release to the floor, hug your knees in, rock a little bit side to side. Beautiful. From here, release the feet on the ground, arms alongside the body. And we'll move up and down into bridge twice. We'll do it together. We'll do it with the breath. So feet about hip distance, arms alongside the body. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, push the feet down, lift your pelvis and spine, lift the arms up and overhead so the back of your hands are on the floor behind you. Now as you lift, use your glutes, use your thighs to lift you up high and your feet to push the ground away. Take one more breath as you are. And exhale, nice and slowly roll the spine down, bring the arms back alongside the body. We'll do one more like this. Inhale. Exhale, press the floor away, lift into bridge, arms overhead. Now this time, hold it for the breath in, hold your bridge. As you breathe out, start to roll to the ground, rolling the spine down, the arms follow. Once you're all the way down, bring the soles of the feet together, open the knees to the sides, relax the arms, wherever it's comfortable for you. I invite you to now close the eyes as we're coming to the end of our practice. Invite the body into a few moments of stillness that are so important to take in the work you've done. Muscles have a memory, and that muscle memory is built when the body rests. So to continue to progress in your practice, these moments of rest are essential. And they're also important so that your nervous system finds more balance. It's been stimulated with our flow, with our dynamic movement, and it's now coming into a space of relaxation. So that at the end of our practice, our nervous system finds a better balance. And with time, with practice, it eventually becomes able to move from the fight and flight stage that sometimes we need to get into, but also into the rest and digest stage that we can get in when we don't need to rush for our life. So give yourself just one more breath here. And then close the knees together. Hug your knees into the chest, rock a little bit side to side. Find your way onto one side, and then using the hands to help, lift yourself up into a seated position. Okay, so close the practice, bring in the hands in prayer, take a nice and long inhale, complete exhale. Thank you so much for being here, whether you were here live with me right now or you joined later and you did this in your own time. Welcome. If you haven't met me before, my name is Ganda, and thank you so much for joining the session. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment here in the IGTV or the live session if you're watching live, and I'll keep an eye on this post so that I can reply. I would love for you to follow me on Instagram as well. It's at Yoga with Ganda, and to practice with me on Take Me at Home, and then eventually when we're back into studios as well in Ealing and in Covent Garden. So take care everybody, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.